Hey, greetings and salutations, one welcome to yet another hobby hangout with me, Forge of Mars. Just getting some pop-ups here, sorry. Can't see what I'm doing otherwise. Yeah, it's Wednesday, it's hump day. We are going to break the back of it. We have these guys to be getting on with today. So I made a start painting them all last night. I was in a bit of a hobby focused zone as such, and I just got busy with them. Hello Judge first a long time ago, and hello indeed. So yeah, it was getting all those I just got busy. I'll turn that down. Sorry, we'll have that down now. Sakara and Sweetness. Yes, so they're magnetised, as you can hear there. So 6x1 millimeter magnets, neodymium magnets that I got off of eBay, I think. Did I get them off Amazon? I can't remember. It was one of the two. So obviously done the base coat, which was grey cere in a rattle can, and then I went over with a sort of a dry brush with Corax white, starting from the top and going down, so acting like Zenful highlight in a way, so catching those edges, and then it is literally Imperial Fist over that. Once I'd done that, I went round, done the lead belcher, and once that was done, I went over it all with my Agrax and water mix, and that's where we are at the moment. So what I'll be looking at doing is obviously adding some Nuln oil to the tracks, because it gives you that more sort of used look. Yeah, the mic is at maximum. I can turn the sound down a little bit on the background music, but this is the max I've got, so it is right up to the end. Because I think was it you mentioned it the other day as well, but I have been speaking more softly of late because it's easier on the old throat and mouth. But anyway, so yes, so with that done, the lead belchers on weapons, the little bit here, the heavy bolter, the front section here, back underneath, obviously the weapons all around, the exhausts, so they're all prepped. Yeah. Yeah, it's the that is basically we're at the max. This is your thing. Yeah, somebody else mentioned it the other day. As I said, because I don't often get mentions about the mic, because on my audio mixer, every time I speak, I'm well into the mid-range green. It's only if I do like that it goes right into the red, and I'm probably, well, like now, talking now. So now that's right near the lower end of the scale, but it's still jumping up. But that takes me into yellow because obviously we have the mic aux mixer. You monitor that so you're not coming across too loudly and drowning out background music or whatever. So it gives you a good basis to work from. But yeah, so it's only when there's like suddenly sharp noises, me snorting as I laugh, sometimes takes it up into the higher echelons. But yeah, the mic volume is up to the max on this, and so I can't. We have got a mic set up, but that's on the other computer, so that's not for me because this is Sam's. So I can't do that. But yes, magnets. Oh dear. Yeah, well, that's a good thing about these. They've got magnets, whereas the Predators, there's nowhere you can really put the magnets in, and you don't really need them because the peg is quite long. So you don't need magnets on the Predators at least. So they're not going anywhere. If you're listening on your phone, get some blue tack and attack the speakers. So sometimes, obviously, when it's been in your pocket and all that, you do get a little bit of gunk in there. That can have an effect. So always a bit of blue tack, but you don't want to be sticking anything in there because the little mesh can get damaged easily. So if you use blue tack, because I picked this up from the Genius Bar when I was getting my phone sorted out, my old phone getting sorted out earlier in the year, you just literally just poke it, and just sort of takes that little fluffing stuff out, and without damaging anything, at least. Lee is naturally mellow, kind of, yeah. I don't go around making like rah all the time. Only when I'm drunk I do. Anywho, I've got earphones. All right. Have you got like earphones with the adjustable volumes, or they're just the like the normal wide pod ones sort of thing? Because I kept on doing it with my old like headsets that I had. I didn't realise they had like the little like up down volume thing on because they were wide ones, and so I can hardly hear. So I thought I was going deaf, and realised that I could just go, oh, I can hear. Right, anywho, right, where are we? Right, give me a brush. So yeah, so what are we all hobbying on tonight? That is the big question I want answered. So Greg, I saw you sneak in there. Hello. How's your fisties going? I have to say, like, it's so nice seeing so many people that I know doing Imperial Fists. You know, people from all backgrounds, all over the place, with their fisty love. It's okay. Other videos says you are fine. I just put you on +6 across the equalizer, and it's a tad down. Oh, thank you very much for increasing the volume. I'll try not to burn your eardrums out. But you never know. If somebody comes on and they start getting silly, then who knows what could happen. So again, the good thing with using like thinner washes, glazes, contrast, because they're thinner, you don't lose much in the way of detail. So doing Knoll over the pre-painted sections that you've already done really does sort of add to the overall effect of, like, properly worn, used tracks on your Tiny Tonks. Just making sure that you get, and it's not bad. You do get a little bit of wash onto the edges. It's not a problem at all. I'm not doing it deliberately, but it does help with the weathering aesthetic as such. Going good, but today I'm working on dangles. I'm working. I know what you mean, buddy. Those dangles done. the metallics covered with the knoll. Sometimes less is more, but as I say, where you're going layering it up with agrax and stuff, a little bit of shit stuck in there, bastards. Adding that little bit extra shade really does make a difference to the overall aesthetic of the tonk. Not dangles, bangles, sorry. We're doing bangles. Oh, blood angles. Are these 28mm bangles, or you're doing another force in Legion? Hey Gizmo, how are you, buddy? There. Right, I'm deliberately ignoring the weapon mounts at the moment because I'm using them to hold the bloody thing. So I'll get onto them in a bit. Just move on to the next one. Before I move on to the next one, I'm just going to little fleck. Baby bangles. Yay! Been thinking. I'm getting into the mood where I want to do some Emperor's Children for my tiny Emperor's Children. The smallest of the Emperor's Children. Yeah, just doing these washes helps no end with the overall aesthetic, weathering, the looking of wear and tear. You know, it's just a really simple thing to do, and it gets overlooked quite a lot. But you know, if you do it, it really does add something more to the actual overall aesthetic. Doing fists primarily with a small detachment of bangles and a small detachment of scars to make them really see deterrent. Nice, nice. I like that. I like that idea. I do. I'm hitting the last conversion beamer today. Finished the melted cannon, as you saw, yeah, which is looking awesome. And there's a minor weathering on Poro and Jelly Walks 3. Cool. So it's great when it all starts coming together, isn't it? Just get that, everything falling into place. My Empress babies. Yes. You know, like at the moment, my Imperial fists have got a much better force because my Emperor's Children literally have only got 4 sprues of infantry, 6 predators, and 4 Sicarans and 10 rhinos. That's the entirety of its force. Oh, 3 Xiphons as well, which are just sitting there waiting to be built and painted. I've got to, I did mention the other day, but I've got to speak with Andy Hoare, because he's been doing, well, I'd love to believe he's doing Emperor's Children small as well, because that's our legions. But whether or not, as I said the other day, he's going to be doing the grey, charcoal black tank armour as per original look back in the day. none of my 28mm Emperor's Children have purple tanks. They have purple parts on them, but not a lot else. They are all traditional colour. I don't want to focus in so much on the bottoms of the bloody tanks because you're not going to see them. Then I'll be on to my tiny madmen of the 12th. Ooh. Nice. They are a bit bonkers, those boys. Almost as badass as the 19th Legion PAL Nomads. It's actually strangely quite pleasurable. doing some tank tracks, getting in the sides, making sure you're getting it all around. Oh, the only Legion's Imperialis thing I got for Christmas was a Kratos. So for Kratos, they'll be going with the fists. So they're going to be my main force to start with, and then the Emperor's Children will be a work in progress. Because once I've got enough, of these guys, I can actually play games. So I've got a nice amount of infantry. I've still got one sprue to finish off infantry-wise. So that'll be something. I'm hoping to do my 25 bases of infantry will be enough for a 3K list. Oh, you got enough for a... Oh, bless you. Yeah, they do seem to be the only thing about, I was hoping for more Thunderhawk action, but unfortunately denied. And then we've got all the other tanks that come out as well, Primarily, I really would like to have Land Raiders. What I want to have, I want I want Land Raiders. With my Emperor's Children, I want drop pods. Oh, bugger. I just fucking... sorry. Yeah, I want drop pods for the Emperor's Children. I really want them to be like a proper drop army. But you're still going to need some tanks. My fists will be an all-rounder, so have, obviously I've got aircraft, I've got some tanks. Need more. And Actually, the only hobby thing I got was a set of Caldor wrong trousers. Big fan of the black with purple accents. Yeah, exactly. You know, they look the nuts. Having those little, you know, accents here and there. I need to get some super glue in there. Yeah, having those majority covered in black, but having the odd spot here and there of it does make a huge difference to the look, but it also ties in with the whole thing. Should do. I've got 8 Kratos on the way, then I need a Thunderhawk and all the tanks. Yeah. So I've got, I think with my fists, I would like to have one more squadron of Storm Eagles, because I've got 6 Xiphon, 4 Fire Raptors, 2 Storm Eagles, sorry, and the Thunderhawk, just to sort of round off the force, really, as an aesthetic thing more than anything than actually in game. You know, I just think they'll just look cool having those options, air cavalry sort of aesthetic. And as I say, my Emperor's Children being pretty much a drop force. So get some dreadnoughts for them probably. Obviously contemptors galore, but having like Leviathans when they turn up, that would be cool. Because like in my heresy guys, I've got like 4 Leviathans plus about 6 contemptors. You know, glorious heroes. These guys just paint really well. I said this Imperial Fist contrast has been a game changer. Probably hear that all the time from other people, but it really has. Inverted colour schemes are the nuts. Working on a 28mm Land Raider that's black with yellow accents for the Templars, and it looks, yeah, it's like Pittsburgh Steelers. Side bits there. Do just hold it up. And bottom. Just doing little stuff like this, like with washes on these smaller models, it really does make a difference to how well they look. I have a soft spot for box dreads. I'm not sure if you'll see them at LI though. Okay, I don't like it anymore. What do you mean you don't like it anymore? You're talking about your reverse colours? Oh, because of the Pittsburgh Steelers. You ruined my entire army because it's a full team I don't like. Oh, bless you. Didn't mean to ruin it for you. Sorry. So one thing I like about the Steelers, I do like the colour scheme, but I also like the fact that they don't know if they still do, but there was always a thing that on their helmets they only had the symbol on one side. It was just one of those things I never realised until they sort of mentioned it in a game I was watching. That they only had it on one side. You think what? What? It was just some sort of tradition, and I can respect traditions. Oh, oh, the gnome went over and none came out. That is bonkers. Unheard of, in fact. Yeah, it's a pretty big fire colour scheme actually. Black with anything is badass. Black and yellow, red. Yeah. Black and orange. It was I put out for Dystopian Wars earlier on some new stuff that's been previewed for next month. Some interesting looking stuff coming out of that, which I'm quite excited. Black and orange, yeah. Legio Magna, black and orange. Or Legio Oberon with their Tony the Tiger. And they also get quite nice sort of rule bonuses or whatever. Again, with AT, not that I pay much attention to stats and traits, but although they're a pretty intense scheme with the black stripes on orange, zigzags or whatever they've got them over there. It's just one of those things that just looks kind of cool. They're great, so I heard. Yes. That's one of the little weird things. There was the craze where you Google your name, and I did that and found out that Lee Marshall was a WWF commentator, and he was also the voice of Tony the Tiger, the original. They're all great. So that's pretty cool. It also makes me wonder as well, because one of the other Lee Marshalls was a former Premier League defender who played for, I think it was Oldham Athletic, called Lee Marshall. And it always made me wonder if when Oldham were playing Man U, whether or not David Beckham went, I wonder if that's the Lee Marshall I went to school with. And then being relieved to find it wasn't. could see it. They're great. Get ready to rumble. Let's get ready. Let's get ready to rumble. Oh, PJ, don't we? So the heavy bolters on these two turrets. Bit of a classic PJ and Duncan there, my friend. Yes. I actually saw an old clip of them when they're doing one of their other songs, the ones that you don't remember, because you only really remember Let's Get Ready to Rumble. I can't think of any other song that they ever did. And the thing is, like with PJ and Duncan, it always takes you back to Baker Grove. And then Baker Grove, it always takes you back to Spooky. And the other interesting fact about Biker Groves, you had several actors and actresses who went to Biker Grove and became, like main characters in things in later life. Obviously, PJ and Duncan are quite big, but one I would say PJ and Duncan are big in the UK, massive in the UK as like the entertainers and that sort of stuff. One person who's in Biker Grove is probably recognised more, not just in the UK but in America in particular. Charlie Hunnam, or Hammond, whatever his name is. He was in Sons of Anarchy. He had a bit part in Biker Grove. That's where he first got into acting, through basically looking like he did, and basically some casting person, oh, you want to be in a Biker Grove, and he done a bit of Biker Grove, and then he's going to acting. Our Radio Rocks was the best track on that album. I never listened to PJ and Duncan's thing. Literally, Let's Get Ready to Rumble. So I'm fully ignorant of that. So I'm happy with living that life as well, of not knowing more about their songs. Now, I had to grow up with bloody E17. So, we all have our crosses to bear. Not after Agrax, I want. Has more Agrax, don't need more Agrax, I need Seraphim Sepiar. There you are. There's nothing wrong with E17. Dude, I lived in E17. I said the other week, I'm sure it was on here, I said it, but when I'm walking home after working at Walthamstow Dog, so when I was 16, I used to take you can either stick to the main roads or you can cut through the sort of side roads and stuff. So cut through the side roads and you'd see Brian Harvey and Tony Caldwell, or Terry Caldwell and John Hendy, I think his name was, all sitting in a Mark 1 Escort down this road. They owned it, they couldn't drive it, so literally just sat in it, like smoking fags or whatever, trying to be cool. And this is before they became, rap singers, stars, and all that sort of shit. So, you'd see them and go, oh, all right, okay. you just knew, it's like the people that you just knew. Like I had friends that I worked with who knew them, um, so I just knew of them because you walked past them as they're 11 o'clock at night, sitting in a Mark One Escort, not being able to drive it. Did they already wear their beanies up to the? Probably, yeah. They were sitting in a car and never really sort of went up to them and looked, but it was that sort of thing. What is it? I remember. This is another boy band, Five. Remember Five, Greg? With Scott Robinson, which was his name, which was obviously also a character name that Jason Donovan played, Scott Robinson. But Scott Robinson was from Pitsea, and I met him I was coming home from London. I think it was actually from one of the Camarilla live role played events that was in London. We used to go to like higher up pubs, and you do this on a Saturday. So coming back on the Fenchurch Street line, and I had a few drinks or whatever, and there was a couple of us coming back, and Scott Robinson was there. Scott Robinson, you should have that sort of thing. So just got chatting. You know how I am, just chatting away and all that sort of stuff. Not like making a big thing about, oh yeah, you're famous or whatever. I just got chatting. Oh, what are you doing on there, sort of thing? Going on, oh, whereabouts? Sorry. That sort of general chit chat. Not talking about his occupation. So yeah, did that. Got off the train. Could have got off the same stop as well. And then a few weeks later, he came into a shop I was working in. It was a new carpet and flooring shop in Basildon, and he's walked into the store with his other half. I'm like, oh, it's Scott from Five. I kind of had a repartee with him on a train. I'm going to have a chat with him. So I went over to him and said, "Oh, there's Scott, how are you?" Sort of thing, as if like best buds. And he started going on about, right, yeah, I've got a sofa from you, and there's a problem with it. I want to get it sorted out. I went, right, okay, I'll take this all on board, but we're a carpet shop. We don't. The people that were here before, who were a furniture shop, they went bankrupt, and the carpet people took over the store. So I wouldn't know where to point you, what direction, because the company doesn't exist anymore. And it's like, what, like that. And I went, yeah, sorry, can't help you. So yeah, that was different. Primarity. Did you see the video of Brian Harvey running himself over after dropping a potato? Probably the same car. Yeah, that was the thing. He opened the car door whilst in it, dropped a potato, or whatever jacket potato, or whatever it was, then leant down from the car seat, fell out as the car's rolling backwards, and that's what ran him over. But yeah, that's what these people do. They run themselves over in the pursuit of potatoes. Lucky he didn't die. And to be fair, it's like that other actor. I'll say the other actor because he's not an actor, is he? He's a singer. But the guy, I can't remember his name. Sorry, but he played Chekhov in the redoing of Star Trek. Also played Carl Reese in one of the Terminator sort of things. And he Yelchin. Can't remember the last bit, but yeah, him. he died from running himself over, crushing himself. So I don't think there was any potatoes involved, but that was quite a sad loss because he had his whole life in front of him, and yeah, he could have been another sort of great actor because he was really good. From what I'd seen him in beforehand, he was actually a really great, actor. He took the roles on. He just did the work. But unfortunately, died very young, which is a shame. Yeah, they probably took it off, to be honest. After a while, it gets so many views, and just go, no, we'll take you to court, get it out. If by it's getting sofa refunds, he got no sofa refunds because we were a carpet shop, not a sofa shop. We had nothing to do with them. Sorry and all that. Not a lot I can do. Sorry, love to help, but nothing to do with us. Yeah, not Brian Harvey, but Yelchin. Yeah, whoever done the Chekhov character in the remake of Star Trek with Chris Pine. He'd been in a few films before getting that role, and he was great. He really was, believable. Like as I said, he did look like a young Kyle Reese, because he was playing Kyle Reese when he was like younger, before he went back, sort of thing. So as he started out as, I can't remember if it was in the TV series or if it was in the films, but he looked like a young Mark O'Brien. So it just looked nuts. But yeah. Wow. Right. So that's those little puppies done. Some dry brushing on the metals. But yeah, so Anton Yelchin, that's it. We saw him in Charlie Bartlett. Yeah, no, the kid had talent. Again, it's like one of those things where what could he achieved? But what do you call it? Like even comparing it to like people like River Phoenix. River Phoenix, I absolutely, from when I first saw him in a film, I just liked him. I thought he was a great sort of actor, and then followed his work, his career as he sort of matured, But yeah, just say that one fateful night in LA in the Viper Room. Such a shame. No. My usual method of doing copics doesn't work on bangles. Usually do Screaming Bell and up for that classic NASA vibe because it's too red. Right. Yeah, you always need something to break it up, don't you? You go black, red and black. Never go back. Yeah. No, that's the thing. Again, that character he played in Stand By Me was, really just done it. Mosquito Coast as well. Sneakers, one of my favourite films, very underrated, with a fantastic cast in there as well. Um, Robert Redford. Um, I think it was Sidney Poitier was in that as well. Dan Aykroyd, I think. Well, no, actually, I think it might have been no, not Dan Aykroyd. David Strathairn was in it as a blind sound technician as part of the gang. River Phoenix, Ben Kingsley, Robert Redford, Sidney Poitier. Yeah, I'll have to look up now because that's bugging me. Oh my god, I've got sneakers. $1992, Jesus. Oh, it was Dan Aykroyd was in there, yeah. Robert Redford, Dan Aykroyd, Ben Kingsley, Mary McDonnell, River Phoenix, Sidney Poitier, David Strathairn. Sneakers. 80% Rotten Tomatoes. It's not a bad movie. 4.6 out of 5 for Amazon UK. 7.1 out of 10 for IMDb. But yeah, no, that was a great movie. I loved that movie so much. And David Strathairn as well, who played the blind sound tech, but he also played the Ghost Knife of Callisto in The Expanse. Ashford, Clias Ashford, one of my favourite characters that they brought into that series. Baudelaire! Thinking I need a gross teal pop. Really? Teal? With red? You sure? Oh, you know what else is an underrated movie? An amazing strong cast? Muppet Christmas Carol. Yeah, still not seen it. Now, the other day, everyone here was going to start watching movies. And every year they have the same running order, and it has to be done the same way. So it's The Grinch to start, then Muppet Christmas Carol. Now, unfortunately, they were starting to watch the movies about 10:30, and I'd had a particularly long day already, like up at 6, out doing stuff and all that. And I said, like, all right, okay. And they said, are you going to watch them with us? Well, yeah, it would be nice to be part of the group. I said, like, could we watch like Muppet Christmas Carol? Because I've never seen it. And it's like, no, we've got to do it in the order. So we're watching it tonight, but it's after The Grinch. So I started watching The Grinch again, and obviously The Grinch is The Grinch. You can't go wrong with The Grinch. And I just felt myself going. I thought, no, I'm not going to make it. So I just went, all right, there'll be other times, and I just went to bed because I was dead on my feet. Oh man, don't remind me of The Expanse. Sad to think of how it ended. Well, to be fair, it ended. They gave it the best ending they could because of the circumstances. Book 6 was a good place to stop it because in the books it jumps 30 years afterwards. So that's the whole thing with the Laconia arc, is that it doesn't happen straight away. We know of Laconia and the whole gate thing, and they basically said, you don't come in here, don't come near it, we're closing the door, sort of shit. But they got it finished to how it needed to be finished. outside of the Expanse, in real life, obviously the thing that happened with Cash Anvar, with the whole sort of sexual misconduct allegations and stuff, which I still don't know if it's actually been resolved or not, but they dealt with that as well as they could, because being a main character in a TV series, they couldn't replace him because everyone would be going, "Oh, you replaced him," and it wouldn't have worked. So yeah, it just didn't. Yeah, they've done as best they could. That's the best they could do. Half the last series completely unnecessary. The Zombie Boy. Zombie Boy. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, but that, again, that was staying true to sort of the books in a way, because obviously that zombie boy situation carries on throughout the Laconia arc. Um, Seemed rushed in my opinion when you take it into consideration. Maybe I still think, as series go, they finish what they set out to do. Oh my God, the first horseman hath arrived, riding upon a white horse. Because Pestilence's other name is Conquest, and I'm a big fan of Pestilence, um, which is the new modern name, but originally it's Conquest, because that's the whole thing. Is that when you look at the artwork, which is one of my favourite artworks, I'm cultured. I'm cultured, I tell you. Where you have the four horsemen there, and you've got Conquest coming out riding on a horse with a bow and the crown above his head. And then Conquest happens, which obviously Pestilence got the new thing, um, the new title. But Pestilence conquers the world, and then you get war, famine, and eventually death. And that's the four horsemen, who also correspond to the four fixed signs of the zodiac. So that's Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, and Aquarius. They are in that order. The four horsemen's signs are represented in astrology type circles. But yeah, I love that whole thing of the four horsemen. Partly due to Good Omens, just the four motorbike riders. I just love that as well. Nice to see you too, Lee. Thank you. My favourite Pestilence. Poor little Magusa. You've been suffering, I know, but I hope that you are on the mend now. And it's lovely to have you here as always. You're always welcome here, Magusa. What I'm saying is that they could have dropped the alien world and ended the first arc better. Wasn't the worst ending for a series, I'd admit. What, the Laconia thing? Because the way I saw incorporating the Laconia parts with the world and all that sort of stuff could pay off with future projects. Because there was talk about them doing like the rest of the series later on, perhaps as an animated series. But it is what it is. You are a learned man. I would be good on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. Mr. General Knowledge Trivia, sort of thing. I used to just take on board all this useless shit. It's like all this useless knowledge. But whether or not it will come in use one day, who knows? Pub quizzes are good. Lol, thanks. Being plague ridden sucks. I know. But you, as I said, just make sure you're all nice and cozy. Wrapped up. You got a little blanket over you. I hope so. Are you hobbying as well, or are you just snuggled? I'm making sure that you're fine. See, if they had immediate plans, I could excuse them. Yeah, but that's the thing. It's like getting cancelled, then getting picked back up again, and Amazon taking on that show and allowing them to get on with it. I think it paid off for the fans who were there from earlier on. They got to see the progress and see where it ended. As I said, apart from the Alex situation, because they did juggle things around, and even certain characters like Drummer represented 3 different characters, and one of those characters actually was introduced later on. But it's making good of the situation. They kept to the amount of episodes. They did a little bit extra on some of them, so that some of them were extra long and that. But everyone who worked on that series really did put in a shift, and it's very hard to improve on what they brought. I feel. Yes, they could have done better, but hindsight is like that, unfortunately. They did what they could. They only had set budgets, which they worked to, and they produced a quality show as best they could with what they were allowed. Again, it's like with, I speak with Crystal about this, about the Wheel of Time. If they'd actually gave the people making the Wheel of Time the budgets that they were giving for Ring of Power, who knows what they could have done with it. And I enjoy Wheel of Time. I love the books, and I do love the show. This second season was much better than the first season, in my opinion, even though there has been some liberties taken with what happens, who turns up where. I can understand it, because it's hard to actually do a proper transition of the Wheel of Time, because the Wheel of Time overall has about 4,800 characters throughout the 16 books. They're not going to do it. I forgot to say, the best thing I got for Christmas was one of the kids' toys came packaged with a really big block of foam, perfect for sponge chipping. Big block. My memory is trash. Names and dates completely evade me. I have problems sometimes. I'll just look at things and I'll just go blank. Like with Anton Yelchin earlier on. To be honest, I've hobbied hard. You are, to coin the phrase, prolific as fuck. And you have your hoodie on. Good. As long as you're cozy, toasty, and snuggled up, that's fine. That's all that matters. Don't want you to be uncomfortable, Megusa. What else was there? Television-wise, For All Mankind and Slow Horses on Apple TV, fantastics. Will not recommend them enough. Really great shows, and I've mentioned them several times already, but I will mention them again. I've been playing with my kids' new Scalextrics for the last 48 hours. So much fun. That's the whole thing with Scalextrics, isn't it? It is a whole lot of fun. Just keep playing it, sod it. Why not? Are you painting any of your Warcry stuff, Chrissy? Your many teams that you've painted this year. Was it 10 teams you painted? I'm just going to stick some agrax, neat agrax into some of these little crevices. Underworlds. Nice. I was actually thinking about going up to Warhammer World on New Year's Day. Not sure if they're open though. Beep, 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 beep. They released a kid-friendly micro-scale electrics. It's about 5 times faster than the 4 sets we had as kids. I can barely see the cars. That sounds like something I need. I mean, the kids need. Of course, yes. Of course, the kids need that exactly. Yes, yes. And we need to be there to supervise them so they don't damage or break the cars. Let's get regrets and events. There's even a bloody loop. I always remember Tyco brought out a racing track thing, and it was smaller than the Scale Electric stuff, but they had all those like loops and shit, and I just thought that was the best thing. It was like 30 foot of track. My brother owned one, so whenever I went to his house, I always wanted to play with it. Here, Kiblams, Greg's after this track thing you've got. Warhammer World Christmas, 10 till 4, last food was 3 p.m. Boxing Day closed, December 27th to 30th, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Last orders 5 p.m. So they're not open on the 31st and the 1st? Because I remember they used to do like the New Year's Day thing. It was like a ticket only type thing. But I've not seen anything like that. So unless they are actually closed for that. I'm just going to quickly grab a drink that's just outside here. So 2 seconds. Yeah, so. Oh, it's closed. Damn it. Get a New Year's Day off. Oh no, I'll get up to the Warhammer world. Woohoo! Arse. What's that? Second, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Yeah. I could go up there on the Thursday. I should think on that. Yeah, full on loop. Sorry, ran out. Word limit in the comments box. No, don't apologise. That's fine. I wasn't sure. I thought it was just like teasing us with the opening hours. But yes, no problems, buddy. Rebel says things. We're talking about Rebel Moon. Hey, Sophus. How are you, buddy? 7th. What, Sunday? You up there on the 7th, are you? Or are you claiming 7th? Judge, I'm sure he monitors the situation. When I sort of put notification in the Discord group that he just perches ready for when I post up the actual episode, so he can just claim first. I know that's how he plans. He's a cunning hunter that way. Now I was saying rebel when you said, "Oh, you have to get a drink." Was you meant to say rebel? Whenever that happens on like watching Twitch sort of thing, because we've been left unattended or unsupervised. Which is quite funny when you think about it, because I'm like a mod. Yes. Well, that'd be interesting as well, wouldn't it, Christy? Christy, sorry, Chrissy. I apologise, Magusa. Please don't kill me. On Crystal's McDowell's Twitch and Discord, we're doing the 2023 awards sort of thing. You got like the mod awards, best mod, and all that. And the thing I've learned about the mod team, we're all our own independent entities. We all have our unique insights and skill sets and stuff. But when it comes to awards, we are quite shallow. Vote for me! Vote for me! this year, I'll just say, like, yeah, I don't mind being the last place. I'll take the last place so nobody else has to. Because I'm that kind of guy. I don't want to see people sad because they were last. So I'll take last place. I'm happy to do so. If it makes someone a little bit happier that they're not last. And it's not reverse psychology before anyone else starts jumping in there. It purely is. I'm not that fast. There are definitely better mods on the channel as well. I just turn up and cause chaos. That's my thing. A mod, you look more like a rocker. Exactly, that's why I rebel against it. To be fair, I didn't volunteer for the job, I was given the job. And I spend most of the time just time out in Chris Frozen whenever he comes into the channel. If he upsets my fellow mod Chrissy, that's it. He's boom. Why you timed him out? He says something I didn't agree with. My purpose on this planet is to time Chris Frozen out. He loves it. Probably doesn't notice half the time. Or he's doing other stuff. Taxi. Look at these little bad boys. Yes. Still debating whether or not to add any black. I'm quite happy and content with how they look. I know, like most people do, like these little bits here, black, but I kind of like it like that. As you can see, I've done 2 with las cannons, and there's 2 with heavy bolters. So purely for the fact that if I'm deploying them with the rapid fire autocannons, or sticking the old plasmas on there. So you've got some extra anti-tank, or you've got anti-infantry, so you can mix them up depending on circumstances. Got to go, guys. Have fun. Thanks very much for hanging out again, Kiblams. I hope you're going back on the Scale Electrics, aren't you? Don't lie. Don't say I've got something important to do. You're going to play the Scale Electrics. Admit it. Just be honest. Just tell us straight. We can take it. We've got broad shoulders. Right. So. Colour matching wise, again, it's matches. What can I say? Looks the part. I mean, that's what I'd be doing. Yeah, no, I know you would be. That's why we banish you to the colonies. Tonk. Alright, so let's have a thinky. What am I doing next? The plasma coils. So normally, as long-time viewers would know, I tend to do plasma coils in a metallic finish because the majority of the time they're not firing, so you just have the like coppery kind of look to their the coil array, which only really turns blue when you're charging the crap out of them. Before you're going to fire at somebody who's a very naughty sausage. Very naughty sausage. I'm probably being totally freaking blind. Yes, totally blind. It's right there. So I left the booba shaker indoors. So old style hand action going on here with the Formula P3 Blighted Gold, which is not showing up that well. There you go, Blighted Gold. I've had this for several years. Still good. Blighted Gold. So what do you think? Alright, maybe not. Change of plan. I'm going with the bluey glow just to add an extra colour to them. Because on this scale you're not really going to see the difference, so you might as well go all the way. Go all the way. Oh, sorry, there's no other way. There's no other way. All you do is with the there it is. I was hiding the correct white. Look at that, Corex white. Look, it's all fluid. I've had this about a year. I know, I can hear the gasps of shock. It's not chalk. I know, it's crazy, isn't it? A non-chalky. There. Hey, Megusa, you still hanging in there? You haven't succumbed to your plague, have you? We might have toddled off. It's just me and you, my dude. Well, just me and you that are talking. There are others here. Lurking. Which you're more than welcome to lurk, it's not a problem. That was just a question for Megusa, if she was still about. Probably get myself a hot water bottle to keep her all nice and snug. Oh, I thought everyone appeared in chat. No. See, not everybody appears in chat. Because not everybody wants to chat. Lee, quickfire. Yes, go for it. Fave non-citadel paint. Ooh. Well, I don't have many. I would probably say it was either that blighted gold or Vallejo liquid gold. I've got, say, other paints as well, but I've used them more, those golds. Fave time, Reaver. Fave hobby tool that's not designed for hobby. Ooh, that is a good one. How about fave hobby tool but not being used in the purpose it is designed for? Because I would say it would be the scraper tool that I got free with my conquest, but I use it for magnets. So all my magnets, so I know that all the polarities are right. And I hold it, I use that, and then when I want to put a magnet onto something, I stick it under the end there, like I did with these, and it's like plonk and scrape it off. So a scraping tool, but I don't use it for scraping. Emery boards. Yeah. Also, I have these pins from work that I've used for either making little indents for where I drill barrels, or for unclogging the what do you call it, nozzles and glue. Natty is also big but small point of contact to perfect. Yeah, why use the scrapers when you've got the backs of your hobby knives? Same thing. my opinion anyway. Not that it counts, but that's how I roll. Any more? Found a makeup brush cleaning pad designed to pull eyeshadow blush out of brushes, and it cleans weathering powders amazingly. That's nice. Just swipe the brush across the pan and it just tears the powders out, leaving the brush really clean. It's incredible. And again, see, that's the whole thing with this hobby hangout. We learn so much from you guys, from your sort of hobby information that you care to share. Techniques, styles, paint recommendations, all that sort of stuff. Everyone who watches this gets to sort of like learn from the experience, and that shared knowledge helps people knowing, because as I've always said with this, you might do something that you find is, oh, well, just that's what I do, that's simple and to the point, but other people might not even thought or realised about doing that certain thing. So, like, stippling, which I was actually talking about that earlier on, was like when I first did the Legio Solaria colour scheme, because before I did the scheme how I do it, most people were spending forever doing lots of little individual dots and all that and pushing it out. But just by stippling it and then doing your washes and glazes or whatever, made it a lot easier, looked really effective, and it does look the nuts. And it was actually strange enough, the side effect as well is that I started with sponging that on, and then I refined it to using stippling brushes, because that gives you a little bit more control of where you're putting it, because there was a lot of tidy up with sponge work, but sponge work looks nice, so you've got to do the right size sponge, I guess, and go from there. Yeah, makeup stuff is super handy. Yeah, like so many people use like makeup brushes nowadays for dry brushing and stuff. But yeah, those little things nobody knew about. But learning from others makes the hobby better. Not seen anything. Ah, right, yeah. Just a shame you have to watch through 4 hours of us talking nonsense, thinly veiled knob jokes to get 2 tips in here. Was that a thinly veiled knob job? Knob joke, sorry, knob job. Oh no, he's yeah. Sorry, I overlooked it. Yeah, yeah. No, because I saw Anti Gizmo there. I thought, oh, he's back in the room. I totally overlooked it, so I apologise on that. My bad. The one that was not thinly veiled. Oh, you have to wake up extra early in the morning for me to notice that sort of shenanigans. Crying now. Making good use of your time then, whilst you play with your bangles at work. Side note, Teal was the right choice. Well, I look forward to seeing it in the Discord, son. But it come out blotchier than I'd liked, so got a redo. It's always good just to go back and attend to something that needs attending to. I do wish this camera would focus, but obviously the problem is because they're so small. keeps on like, that's not fun. So what I'm going to do now, as he looks, aha. So whilst they're still drying, a little bit of a juicy violet. It'd be at this stage which would be perfect for heat to turn up. Because he loves a bit of purple. Right. So, do we all have plans for New Year's Day? Or New Year's Eve? What are you up to? Anyone going out? People coming over? I have no plans. Bit off topic, but how did you attach your 28mm Warhounds to the bases? I'm thinking about doing something similar. Literally, I screwed them. I drilled some pilot holes up through the foot and ankle via a hole through the base that I was doing. So screw through that, made sure the foot was in place where I wanted it, obviously just drawn out an outline for it. Screwed up to get that first bit onto the base of the foot, so I knew to continue up there, and I drilled a little bit in, so at least I had a guide for it, and took it out, screwed further in, and then got there was about 3-inch screw, because I had quite a thick wooden base, which, yes, it was a cutting board. I bought from the range 2 cutting boards, which were 12-inch cutting boards. No, tell a lie, they're the ones for the Reavers. The ones I got, the base product for the Warhounds, I actually got from Hobbycraft. It costs like £5 or £6. It's like a 10-inch like plyboard, and it's for it's like making your own clock, basically. So you get like these like laser cut numbers you can stick onto it, but yeah, don't bin them. But yeah, those the plyboard discs are about 10 inches wide, and as I said, put the foot there, drilled through the plyboard into the foot, and then just continued, and then as I said, like a good couple of inch screws up and into it, so it holds it in place. But I only done that after I'd actually used polyfiller to make the actual base, so the textured base. Slapped so much of that on there, and obviously then just once it dried, screwed it down, and then done some jiggery pokery to make sure there was not too many gaps. I plan on being home doing this. Doing what? Screwing Warhounds. Ooh. And well done, Judge, on being first yet again. From your stalking place, hiding out, swooping in. Now I'm actually using a white ink for this sort of dry brush. Yeah, so in Hobbycraft, it says like build your own clock. It works for Warhounds. For Reavers, I used a 12-inch cutting board, acacia cutting board from the range, which comes with a thumb hole in it, which I literally just stuck a bit of duct tape on one side, and then the surface I was coating with the polyfiller. I filled in the hole, so it took a bit longer to dry because obviously it's full of shit. Because that's about, what do I say, about half an inch deep. I really need to buy a 28mm Titan this year. Well, I'm not going to say no. You should. Lead Boja! Hunting is the old act way. They like a hunt. So Mac, he's finished off his latest Audax today, posted up on various social medias, Facebook groups. Do they still come with certificates? Yes, they do. New Year's is amateur night. I've seen far too many wrecks over the years while working. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Fucking Mark II armour, aren't they? These dudes. So I've got to do their fucking trim. Pardon my French. Are they easily removed if needed from the base? Maybe maybe for gaming, etc. Well, I just leave them on the base now. I literally just don't bother taking them off. They're more stable, 100%. You know, the only Titan I have now without a base is my Warlord. But that's purely because if I got a base for that, I wouldn't be able to get it into its box, which is not good. Damn you, aluminium! Ha ha ha. Budweiser lid. I wouldn't be surprised, Greg, if it was a kitchen cabinet door. One of my Titan friends, who is also Fire Wasps, all his Titans are based with wooden bases and stuff. John Ball. I don't know what he uses for the basing, but they are big, thick, chunky bases. And his Titans are literally like, they're not going anywhere. Okay. My eyes just went a bit blurry there and I completely fucked this one. So I'm gonna experiment with doing a reverso on that one. And cheers, Sophus. Much appreciated. So I just got to sort out these last trims on these dudes and then tidy up where I've gone a bit skew with. That's the thing, I don't get stressed out about making mistakes with. Whew. Right. Sip of drinky. And stretch the leg. Don't think that's going to work because that's probably stuffed. Where's that other? Jar. Other silvers. Ooh, sorry. Tiny, tiny dry brushing, dry brushing, dry brushing. Happy and safe holidays to all. Thank you very much, Fionn. And happy holidays to you, wherever you may be. Ah, thank you very much, Fiona. Much appreciated. What are you up to today with your hobby? Anything exciting? Well, it could be exciting or non-exciting. what are you up to? Is the general gist. That's the question. What's occurring? Stormy weather tonight, Ireland. Yeah, we've what's it? Storm Gerrit, I believe, is the name of the wee bugger. It's not too bad over this side. Well, over this side of England, anyway. It was a bit gusty on the way home, so I tried to avoid areas where there was a lot of like openness going across the roads on the way home, because the last thing you want to do is be blown into the side of a truck. Just doing some research. Ah, cool. Is that work related or hobby related? Must get back to building models sometime in the year. Thinking of getting the
magic of Christmas with Lidl is
hold on a second.
last-minute
Adverts not good on the music side of things.
Oh, no one's going to argue with a bet.
Skip. Ah. No, we don't want to hear all this bloody adverts. Sorry. Gotta talk over them. That's better. What? No, on this one. Oh, he's playing it. Alright, sorry. Sorry, Fionn. Must get back to building models sometime in the year. Thinking of getting the Euclidean Star Striders for Kill Team. I might do some Legions Imperialis during the summer. We will see. Well, I'm all for it, Legions Imperialis. They're as cute as heck. It's just, obviously, after all these years of doing Horus Heresy, getting your getting your hands on vehicles that you know and love, but in tiny versions, it's just ridiculously cute. So, yes, I'm all for it. The game also looks really cool, having massive armies running around, blowing the smeg out of each other. But yeah, I'm all for it. I'm all for smeg kicking. Blowing the crap out of each other, left, right, and centre. But getting back to hobby is never a bad way to go, really. It's a good place to be. I played Kill Team once, really. I didn't mind it, but I do prefer my Titan games more. So if an opportunity came up to play, I would normally try and play AT whenever possible. Strangely enough, as most of you know, I've invested a lot of time and effort into building vast armies of Titans and Knights, and it'd be silly not using them. Lay through a windshield picking in the whip channel. Okay, let's have a look in the Discord. Oh, yeah, sorry, windshield. Yeah, I thought you was doing the like surrounds canopy in the till, but that so that's what he's done with his canopy on the tiny Storm Eagle for the Blood Angels. Yeah, no, that's looking good, mate. Came out more icy blued until, but it's feisty. Well, we're all here for the feist. Yeah, no, that would look shit. You were right. Yeah, like all my cockpits on these guys are Calador Sky. Then they get washed over with the Agrax as I pick them out first, then Agrax it all with the 50-50 Agrax. And then what's to do? Bit of Drakenhof Nightshade down sort of parts of it, especially around the edges. And then once that's dry, I get what did I get last time? I think it was something like no, not that. Not Blue Horror. Fenrisian Grey, and with a very small brush like this small brush, dry brushed in the centre, and it looked really good. Quite enjoyed that. It looked nice. Whew. It will also be impossible to replicate as it's a mix of Vallejo, Metal Medium, and Pterodon Turquoise unknown ratios. Oh dear. I'm hoping for Battle Automata, Legions Imperialis or otherwise, up the Legio Cybernetica. Nice. Yeah, if they do that in Legions, I'm on it. I'm all over it. Because I love Legio Cybernetica, I love Mechanicum. Mechanicum and battle robots Thanators, Domitars, Vorax, Castellax, Vulturax even. All of those bad boys are awesome, and I'd love to see them in the game. Let's get my sadly, I'm going to have to go. Done work and house full of sick kids, so I'm off to reinforce the missus. Well, you're doing what all good dads should do, so I don't blame you, mate. But thank you for hanging out and all the questions. I hope that you survived the night with the sick kids, and that you don't get their lurgies. But Saturday should be normal stream again, mate. If you're about, buddy, always welcome. You know that, and it's lovely having you around and seeing you being proactive with your hobby again. So it's all good, mate. I'm happy to keep you sane. Damn it, I need enough drinks. Damn it. I need some Moot of the Green, which is right here. I'm already sick, I just don't know it yet. Oh, dude. I'll try to make sure I'll be around. Yeah, no worries, buds. Not required viewing, but you're always welcome. Night all, bye. Oh, bless you. Crash liquors. Sorry, I have returned just as I was tidying stuff away. I was asking you a question earlier on. Trying to remember what I was going to ask you. Yeah, sorry. With your Legions stuff, did you decide on a Titan Legio that you're going to do for your Ultramarines to hang around and support them? I know you mentioned a couple in the past, but you've not informed me. You've not kept me up to date with your plans for world domination were. Just finish painting my big drink. Oh, nice. Is that the one you posted up earlier on today? That big thing. Haven't painted yet, but I think I have decided with Gryphonicus. Nice. I don't know if you remember, but last week I did put a post up on like Instagram about coming up big X across it, which was the forge fires are lit again and sacred unguents and all that sort of stuff, basically indicating that I'm getting in the mood for Titan building again. And so far, let's just check. Not one of my so for those who haven't seen it, if the camera, could you fucking zoom in, please? No, it's not having it. eh, eh. No, go back. I don't want to see your digital sale. No. Oh, that's it. That's better. It's looking nice. Looking sweet. And it's got purple on it, which makes it even awesomer. That's looking really cool, Chrissy. Oh, it's got a tongue. Almost focused. What was I going to say? Yeah. So that's the post I put up last week. Guess it's about that time again. The forge fires are lit, incense is burning, and the sacred unguents are all prepared. Praise the Omnissiah for its wondrous and most terrifying creations. And obviously, I did put a little thing. Who is that? Who is it that will walk for the machine god next? So that's what I put out last week, and lots of people have seen it. 140 people have liked the post, which is always nice. But no one has asked. And this isn't the first time I've mentioned the fact that nobody has asked what the 10th Legio is going to be. So this is like the third time I've actually addressed this, and nobody has asked the question. Because they both involve Ultramarines and White Scots. Yes, you can't go wrong. The big green one, yes, I already showed you that. We have also have a Legio Audax Princess in the chat. Another one. Because funny enough, are you Fionn? Are you north or the south of Ireland? Because another regular who comes in here, Mac, who is up just outside of Belfast, and he is a massive Audax fan. He puts a lot of stuff today, actually, of his Audax that he's just recently finished. So I think he's got like 2 maniples worth of Audax now. Obviously, I've got Audax as well, because it's one of the 10. Or one of the 9, because I haven't started the 10th one yet. That will be soon, he says. Soon. South. So, just obviously, if you were local to the area, then obviously you could meet up at gaming halls and Audax it out. That's what I try to make connections. I don't know what your gaming groups are like wherever you are. I didn't want to be too forward as well. Where do you live? But it is sometimes so hard because we got other regulars who've been on here. It's quite a disparate and well spread out group of people. I came to Tipperary. All right, cool. And it's always nice to you hear them like, oh yeah, I live here. I have to go especially like the Americans and Canadians that hang out here. Yeah, we got to drive like 3 hours to get to the local store. You go, what? For me, 3 hours, I'd be in Warhammer World from where I live. But, that's a proper sort of operation to do. Whereas we discovered that especially with our American and Canadian friends, it's like, they make a big thing about travelling. They've got no problem driving 3 hours to go to a friendly local gaming store to roll some dice with people, because it's a big thing. Whereas people over this side of the world, oh, my mate lives like 10 minutes away. Nah, I'll see him tomorrow. And then you put it off. We are very reluctant to go 5 minutes down the road, let alone 3 hours down the road. But no, so it's always nice where if people are sort of connected, just hooking up and like for games and stuff, because sometimes not everybody plays this type of game or Adeptus Titanicus and all that sort of stuff. So it's always nice to have friends that you can meet up with and game with. Because we can't be asked. Oh, we can't be asked. It's just bonkers. The whole outlook. Now, I probably do. I definitely do more driving than I used to, because where I sort of had that epiphany after the passing of my friend Chris Booth. Just don't put things off. If I want to go see someone or go somewhere, I make the plans and I commit to the plans. Because I've been guilty in the past, more of the case of, if my partner at the time said, "Oh, I really don't want to go see your family," you go, "All right," you're at appeasement. You'd always pick them over going to see your brothers or whatever, and they live, we're not, well, I've got one brother who's close, that's about 15 minutes away, and I haven't seen him for Christmas yet, so that's my bad, because I've got presents for his like kids and grandchild, but yeah, it is bonkers. Doesn't help our trains are shit and expensive. I saw a graphic today, Chrissy, right? Train lines like covering the States compared to train lines across Europe, and you look at the pictures, and the train lines in Europe is like a spider web, and the train lines that run across America, there's literally like there's one at the top, there's one at the bottom, and one in the middle, sort of thing, going across it. So it's just like, what? And they've got like main lines going across, but they don't have a lot more like infrastructure. You might have like going from one place to another. They don't have as many sort of train lines as what we have over here, which it seems bonkers compared to the size and scope of these cities. Not all of them have these massive like train infrastructures, sort of thing. Subways are one thing, but it's not the same. But yeah, we are bloody expensive. Should be cheaper, because then more people would use them. They're going about all this like pollution and stuff and petrol, and make public transport cheaper, and clean the bloody buses. Something of a problem throughout the British Isles, unfortunately. Yeah, it's one of those things. These little groups of islands of ours, it's bonkers. But that's it's island mentality, I suppose. We are all islanders because we are. Yes, we live on an island or a couple of islands, but yeah, we don't think that same way. Whereas America, even like Europeans, do travel more than we do. We're just shit. Right, I'm just going to quickly grab another drink. So, Chrissy, if you can keep everyone organised and no rebelling, especially as Greg's gone now, so at least he won't be like trying to stir up all the anger and towards me in the chat. We live in bonkers times. We do. I'm not disagreeing with you at all. 100%. We are living in bonkers times. So just give me a couple of seconds, and I'll be right back. Nice. Unleash tech heresy. Right, behave or I'll share my plague. That would do it. Liquid refreshment. Good plan. Yes, everyone hydrate, please. Right, especially you, Chrissy, because you're not well. You need to hydrate. If I had one of those Twitch buttons, I'd be pressing it for you. Right. So, yeah, I think pretty good. That's the moment. What does that do there? There it is. I'll sort out that one shoulder pad. Yeah. Where's the colour? That's the colour. So I'm just checking through. Yeah, I need to get a drink and some pictures. Will you go get that quick so you're all nice and comfy again, alright? So we'll loiter around here. I'll make sure they'll behave while they're gone. Yeah, but isn't this your stream? Yeah, I know it is. But, you know, just make sure that everyone's enjoying themselves. And there's no tomfoolery or too much tomfoolery. Have to head away. Night all. Be safe. Well, thank you very much for joining us, Fionn. I hope that your Audax hunt and catch their prey. So yeah, you're the fourth Audax player in this grouping of people. Judge, I think Judge does have Audax. I'm sure he does. No, he has Volta. I don't know. He had Audax. Oh, I don't know. I'm getting confused now. But anyway, thanks for hanging out, and hope to see you again in the future. I'm ill. I ate all over my knee hurts. Oh, you said that. I'm starting rubbing my knees in sympathy. So, psychosomatic knee rubbing. There you go. Just gonna try and make them warm, nice warm knees. Make them ache a little bit less. There you go. It's working on my knees wonderfully. As you can see, you can see, yes, that is my knee that I'm rubbing. Just so you know, right? So there, see, knee rub there. Oh bugger. That looks suspicious. It was my knee, honest governor. No, bugger. But yes. Oh, right, okay. Was referring to another participant, but thanks anyway. No worries, dude. Welcome and always welcome back whenever. Yes. No, don't make me laugh. Well, you know, Patch Adams. You know, laughter helps. I've been all over the fruit. Gosh. So what did I do with that one? Oh, there it is. Oh yeah, because I took that off because I was doing that bit. That's what I was going on about. Gosh. Laughter is the best medicine. That's what I was trying to say. That. Oh, it makes me cough. Oh, I'm sorry. I can't remember. I know, again, it's one of these things I've mentioned before, but back when I was a mere leeling, a small child of about 8 years old, I changed schools, and the school I went to had BBC Master System computers, and the game that everyone used to play on that in class it was a teaching game, and it was called Granny's Garden. So it's a really basic sort of thing. You have to type in answers to questions and stuff to progress in this adventure. But there was this one guy. It was like the guardian of the gate to the Granny's Garden or whatever, and you had to type in the answer, which was his favourite food. So you had to type in what his favourite food was, press return, and it would either say, yes, that's correct. Or if you typed in the wrong food, it would say, like, it wouldn't say, it would just type up, oh, when I eat sausages, it makes me sneeze, sort of thing. But obviously, being a load of immature 8-year-olds, we would type in poop or or bum or something like, when I eat bum, it makes me sneeze. And we were just like, giggling. 48K Specky, exactly. Those were the days. 48K Spectrum, or Spectrum Z81 as well. And then you had the 48, and then I think you had the Spectrum 128. That was the last of the Spectrum range. And then you had like the Amstrad and all that malarkey. Plain Chucky Egg or Jetpack Willie. For the inside of the hatches, because not many people know, but generally tanks on their interiors are normally quite light colours because it's quite a dark environment. So they have light colours on the insides, so it reflects any light that may be present, so it brightens it up. So that's why I paint the insides well, I'm using grey cere, so it's not too white, but it gives that look that it is properly sort of, painted on the interiors. Because you don't want to paint it yellow, it doesn't look right, if you know what I mean. Oh yeah, Chrissy. That's why I was asking you what Titans you were doing. But why was I asking you? I had an inkling what you were doing. Because I do remember stuff that you tell me from time to time. Wow. Yes. So that Legio that you're doing is the 10th Legio that I am doing. So there. Because nobody's ever fucking asked me, I'm telling you. What's with the angry face? What? Don't be angry at me. That's quite an aggressive looking wild-eyed tomato that you just put up there. Ooh. Yes. It just makes sense for me to do them. They're a Legio that I do like, I do hold a lot of respect for. They were one of the original 4 Loyalist Legios. And whenever I fielded fire wasps, so even the first time I fielded like Iracundus up alongside Loyalist Titans at 2017 Horus Heresy Weekender with the Adeptus Titanicus demo game that I was allowed to participate in. The Loyalists were Gryphonicus, and Iracundus walked into Gryphonicus. He has walked alongside Gryphonicus many times now, and each time they have been undefeated. So I have a lot of time for Griffins. And I just can't see them. Those 4 Warhounds I've got, they need to go somewhere, and currently the Loyalists are outnumbered Titan-wise compared to Traitors. Traitors well outnumber them by probably around about a legio's worth of Titans. So yeah, those 4 Warhounds will be going the way of Gryphonicus for matching in with these dudes as well. So you heard it here first. So what are we thinking about these dudes? Are we liking? I'm liking. So probably. The truest colour level as well. But yes, a bit fucking blurred out. Little plasmas. So, gone with options, and what I was thinking, the las cannon dudes, in my mind, it makes sense to have the las cannon, the plasma dudes with the las cannons, and then having a heavy bolter for shooting up infantry. So, 2 heavy bolters, 2 las cannons, and the plasma gunnage for ultimate destruction. Shredder. But yeah, it's pretty happy with that, and I would say yeah, pretty much done. Obviously, I've got to do decals, but they can come later. But I'm just, when you're comparing little tiny tonks, the big nasty tonks, because these are armored vehicles technically. But yeah, I'm really enjoying these little bastards. They're cute, and I'm really looking forward to actually getting a game at some point. So someday in the future, hopefully be getting onto a battlefield somewhere against somebody who has an equal amount of of tanks and stuff. As I said, once I've got the Predators, sorry, I'm not going to make a start on the Predators tonight. I'm spent. But yeah, it's the Predators, which I mixed up similarly. Half of them have got laser sponsons, the other half have got heavy bolters, so at least we can swap around with either auto cannons on either or the laser cannons. So if I need heavier firepower against armor, then we can just stick in the Executioner variant, or you can have the autocannon variant, Destructor, I believe, with that. I've always been a big fan of autocannons. I like the way they look. But yeah, as little tonks, they're cool. So they'll be the next ones being painted. Woo! Sorry. Yeah. To go with, what's it? Just got the one more sprue of troops, those 6 predators, all the aircraft are done, and it's just going to be a case of organising some decals and stuff for these guys and preds once I get them painted. But yeah, I'm in a good place so far. I feel. Obviously, once more stuff is released, I can add them to the whole shebang, and it's not as if I haven't got bundles of Knights and Titans to add to an army. But I've got enough, definitely got enough at the moment. I'll probably have to do like a little like army list just to see how many points I've got at present, to make a proper sort of judgment call. I want Tiny Night Crystal. Oh. Now with Unite Questoris, I'm trying to think. What I would normally suggest, because I'm not sure, it doesn't work. I don't think it works the same in Limp or Legimp as it does in AT. Because in AT you've got 2 sort of ways of building up Night Forces. So you have the Night Support Squad, which is basically just a banner of knights, which for Questoris is 6, and you just armoured with whatever. Because unfortunately, with the Questoris kits, you get 1 of each of the basic knights. That's it. You don't get multiple weapons, so you can't make 3 errants or 3 paladin class or 3 whatever else. I don't know. But it's Nigel. I have no idea. I just want all little knights. Well, then get yourself a box of Questoris knights. 3 of them will probably be about 22, 23 quid now, I think, from Games Workshop. So obviously, if you utilise online store, did you say Goblin Gaming, was it, or Alchemist Workshop? Did you used to use? I might be getting confused because I know there was certain other people I know from the Midlands that utilised those sort of outlets for hobby supplies. So yeah, because it's all about those discounts. But yes, Questoris Knights are quite handy to have, can be quite useful in, especially in Legimp. Yeah, until they get the restock. But you know, it's just wait for them to actually get. I was expecting more releases by now, to be honest. So I know that they got held up with everything, but still, I did expect to have, after the release of the stuff that they released and then sold out of, that they would have the second wave ready to go. Because normally, like, you have a second wave. Like when they've done the big boxes in the summer, you had a certain amount of stuff came out, and then you had another lot of stuff come out a few weeks later. But they didn't do that with these guys. So yeah, because I want Land Raiders. was trying to think, because they don't do. They haven't got the new starter sets out yet. They haven't done the new Battle Force sets either yet. Would be nice, but again, we're just gonna have to be patient. If I had some, I would send you them, but I only have 166 of them, and they're all mine, Chrissy. You're not having my nights. Yes, the drop pods. I want the drop pods. Because before you came on, I was saying, like, with my Emperor's Children force, I want them to have drop pods. GW always have weird release schedules. Yeah, it didn't help because of the delays with the main box, but you would have thought they would have had everything's lined up. Everything's actually called a backlog because it didn't get released where it was. So it's all about logistics and storage space and juggling things. So that's probably caused issues. But yeah, mini drop pods. I want mini drop pods for my Emperor's Children. I don't want them for these guys. These guys are happy with their tanks and their flyers, but I want drop pods. I want drop pods, damn it. Chrissy, give me drop pods. Nigel, are you doing any hobbying tonight? Have you been up to anything hobby-wise? You beautiful little man, you. That the reissuing of that old profile picture on Facebook, because when I put up the Christmas one, I thought I only put it up for 2 days, but it was on for the 3rd day. I thought, no, Christmas is over now. We've done Boxing Day. Get it off. So I was going through my own old profile pictures, and I saw that one, and I just chuckled because it brought lots of happy memories. And so I stuck it back on. And it's been greatly received. I'm glad I didn't do tiny salamanders or the mini pea pods. Release the petit pois. I'm building models for Conquest now. All my Legions Imperialis stuff is finished. Or your Death Guard. I'm still surprised you went Death Guard. I've never envisioned you as a Death Guard kind of guy. I honestly, if you was choosing a Legion to do, I would, because of you, I would have put you as a Thousand Son. But you're like, learned. And you know stuff. It's amazing I got a photo of you, considering that we've never met. For those of you who don't know Nigel, this is a common thing. He denies all knowledge of ever meeting me. From even way back in sort of 2010, when we actually did physically meet for the first time, and there is photographic evidence of us being in the same room, and I'm even poking his ear hole. Denies all knowledge. No, never happened. He says he was doctored. Yeah. I've even been round to his house. He's even been in my car as we went to Warhammer World, where he took a selection of wondrous photographs of me playing games of Heresy against my friend and arranging models. Death Guards are dirty brown, the only thing I can paint. And you did them wonderfully as well, to be fair. You're a master of the dirt. Dirtmeister. But yeah, you've done a really good job with those Death Guard. And one day, I will come up to yours, up to Derby, and I will. I shall challenge you to honourable combat with teeny tiny dudes. or we'll just go to Warhammer World because it's like 20 minutes from your house. And Chrissy, you can come along as well because obviously we have Ultramarines, Death Guard, Imperial Fists, freeway battle, and just kick off. But yes, I've got because you wasn't here earlier on, Nigel. Right, I'm off to bed. Night, night, Magusa. I'll speak to you again in the near future, Magusa. And I hope you are better in the morning. So get well. I dare you. I double dare you. Yeah, so that was my Christmas present. And more importantly, why is there a mystic from Dark Crystal behind you? Like that. That's a blanket covering the unsightly running machine that's got lots of my stuff. Behold my stuff there. It's unsightly. I can't show that. It's got stuff there. Stuff that cannot be seen. It's just boxes of stuff. Because obviously Christmas, we had to clear some of my stuff from the area it was living in to allow for us to have Christmas dinner and that. So it came into Sam's office. It's over yonder, there. I've got there is a box of Titans over there, so my Ignatum Titans are over there. This little box here has my Dystopian Wars stuff for my Scions of Judland. Yeah, spec. So they are quite big and choppy. Fast Dreadnought right there. Those little turrets. Missiles. So, yeah. Quite chunky. It's funky metallic green scheme. Little Valkyrie flyers. Good. Because Dystopian Wars are doing their own version of Epic, which comes out next year. They're actually January. They're actually releasing the buildings for it. And that box is not a Crown starter set, because I'm using this box to store my aircraft elements. So my Xiphons. And of course, big fella. Thunderhawk. No. I actually ordered myself some of these bases, so ordered them last week from Games Workshop. Still not turned up as of yet. One day they will. Probably wouldn't be until next week, I'd imagine. But yeah, so all my Air Force is in that box, and then my Tonks, my infantry in their little boxes. I need to find decent storage box for the Tonks. Because currently they're just sitting on top of those crystal boxes that I got for my infantry. So 11 rhinos. So all in all, we've got a decent amount of bits to be getting on with, and what with these new additions, which are quite tasty, I can sleep soundly at night knowing that I've got some adequate support for my loyalist forces. But yeah, I'm not going to be doing multiple armies. I'm not going a full AT style with these guys. So it will only be Imperial Fists and Emperor's Children that I'm doing. But yes, plans within plans, schemes within schemes. I'll have these guys probably ready to go for, I'd probably say mid-Jan, really, giving myself a bit of time. That's whether or not I also get onto doing the Warhounds. So it's applying time. If I've got the time, because I've been losing one of my days off to look after my son, because he's not at college on those days. So I've got one day I can do some hobby, and then it's when I'm doing hobbying, like on streams with you guys, or the occasional evening if I get the chance to actually sit down and actually do something. So yes. So yeah, Predators, get them sorted, and then I can relax a little bit more on that side of things. And then it's just, as I say, like, it's doing all the decal sort of stuff with them, because you don't get enough of the decals. Like, you get the basic like symbols, and I think, to be fair, they're not thinking that we are going to be going around there putting lots of decals, but we are hobbyists and we will make things as hard as possible for ourselves, which means getting decals, and the ones that we want are hard to come by. So I've actually found, like, on that, this is from the Legion Astartes Age of Darkness transfer sheets, but you do have some really nice small, sort of like Templars ones, the Imperial Eagle things that represent you fought with the Emperor. Small fists, not just these ones, but just fists on their own, and small sevens in black and white. That's quite a decent sheet to get hold of for these guys. But yeah, it's just using what you can wherever you can, really. So I've been acquiring some of them from friends, purely for having those fist decals, really. That's the main objective. So when I do get some decaling done, which I've done on the fighters, my aircraft, they are fully done. It's just whether or not I can get enough stuff to do, like, you know, little small symbols on the rhinos, for example. Obviously, the door ones you can put the circular ones, or on the roof you could put one, I suppose. But it's doing it without making it look stupid. Like, as they are, yeah, I'd be happy with them as they are. You know, just not having to worry. I'm not having to think too much. Oh, truth. But yes, was. But yeah, so we're all sorted for our tonks. I'm just going to put them all. These bloody strong magnets. Wherever I got them from. But there we go. Plasmas. So yeah, I'll be posting up pictures of this in the Discord and then obviously on social medias. Focus! Yeah, I'm pretty pleased with them. Near too shabby, if I do say so myself. But, alright. Let's, it says let's quickly do this, which I can't because they're all bloody covered with bloody predators. So contemptors. Some troops. Command squad. Bit of a mess of organisation there, but yeah. Yeah, as I said, I'm a happy little sausage. That'll do. That'll do. Let's get them back in there. Thank you. So, I think that's me for tonight. It's almost 11 o'clock. Time for my beauty sleep. But yeah, thanks again for hanging out this evening. It's been a pleasure chatting with you all and hanging out with you whilst finishing off these 4 bad boys. Be on Saturday as normal from 8 PM and onwards. A couple of hours at least. And yeah, hopefully you'll have a great rest of the week until then. And yeah, so let's be all groovy. Night beautiful. Night beautiful. Next to you. You there. You. Love you. And yeah, have a great time, whatever you're doing. And hopefully I'll see you all on Saturday evening for some more hobbying, hanging out. Who knows what we'll be doing? Probably those predators. That's the plan, he says. That's the plan. But until then, take care, and I will see you all soon across various social medias, no doubt. So take it easy. Peace. Well, that's peace. That's raw.